Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty sad episode today. Today we're going to be talking about Ben Simmons. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, Ben Simmons has turned into one of the most enigmatic players in the NBA, I think that we've seen maybe in the last 5 to 10 years, probably. When Ben Simmons came into the NBA, there was so much hype surrounding him because of his skill set, his physical attributes, and his overall basketball IQ. At the time, a good amount of people were saying that he may be the next LeBron James because here you have a 6'9", 6'10" point forward who was just as fast, just as quick, very athletic, can play the passing lanes, just as dangerous in the open court as LeBron James, and had great court vision. Many people assumed that we were looking at the next version of LeBron. And when he came into the NBA, Ben Simmons, he didn't disappoint. Eventually, he went on to become a 3-time All-Star. He even made an All-NBA third team, and he made 2 defensive teams, and he won the Rookie of the Year and led the league in steals in 2020. And that was the year, I think it was either 2020 or 2021. I thought he should have been the Defensive Player of the Year. It might have been 2021 if I'm not mistaken. One of those years. So Ben Simmons had a lot of upside. But then in his last season with the Philadelphia 76ers, although he was on a bit of a decline that season, if you look at his production that year, Ben Simmons, we saw a dip where he was averaging about 14 points per game on 55.7% shooting. He was shooting about 61% from the free throw line, but he still was getting you 7 rebounds, 7 assists per game, 0.6 in blocks, and 1.6 steals. But then they made it, I believe, to the semifinals where they were playing against Atlanta Hawks, and Ben Simmons just totally came apart. He just unraveled, and he had a few single-digit scoring games, and of course, we all know the infamous Game 7 where he passed up an open layup / dunk under the rim, and that seemed to be the final straw, not just for Philadelphia 76ers fans, but even for the coach and even some of his teammates, where they even asked Doc Rivers, hey, do you think this guy can be a championship point guard moving into the future? And he said he didn't know. And then Joel Embiid said that was a pretty big momentum play. And that was really when we started witnessing the kind of decline. After that, Ben Simmons made it pretty clear that he no longer wanted to be a Philadelphia 76er. Then the whole debacle started. Ultimately, he was able to make his way to the Brooklyn Nets via trade for James Harden. And when he initially became a Brooklyn Net, there was some hype surrounding him, right? Because he had been away for this time. A lot of people felt like he had gotten his mind right. And you had people out there like Stephen A. Smith thinking that actually the Brooklyn Nets won that trade. And when he got there, people were hopeful that he was going to help that team in the playoffs, who were in a pretty tough fight with the Boston Celtics in round 1. Ultimately, he did not return. And then coming into this season, people said that, hey, you know what? He has now some, tread under his wheels. He has a lot of time to rest, to get his mind right. Coming into this season, he's going to really make a comeback. And what ensued was unlike anything any of us could have predicted. This year in 42 games, Ben Simmons is putting up 6.9 points per game on 56% shooting 0% from the 3, 44% from the free throw line, with 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.6 blocks. And now Ben Simmons is a shell of himself. And it has caused one of the greatest players of all time, a top 75 player, Kevin Garnett, to finally speak up about Ben Simmons. And recently he sat down with Matt Barnes and he just expressed his overall frustration and he sent Ben Simmons a pretty serious wake-up call that we want to play for you guys here. But before we get into it, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is we want to play what Kevin Garnett had to say about Ben Simmons, or to Ben Simmons, and then we're going to come back and react to it. Take a listen to what KG had to say about to Ben Simmons.
I don't even like doing this, but I'm looking at a guy like Ben Simmons, man. Ben Simmons, man, if you listening, man, I want you to go back and find your roots, man. Go back and find why you love playing the game, man. Straight up, you got a lot to give to the game, bro. Straight up, like to shut him down and him have back issues and be going through this. Melo, his cousins at home, the White House. This niggas at home that can be in the league, in the position, bro. Like straight up, if your heart ain't in it, man, it is what it is. You know, I hate to say that, man. I think he got another run in him, but it's gonna have to be Ben Simmons, bro. It's gonna have to be him, not his mom, not none of this collective around him and all. It's gonna have to be him. Straight up, bro. I want to see dude. I want to see dude get back to killing, man.
I like his game.
And then too, we ain't even seen Ben Simmons with the J. We ain't seeing Ben Simmons pull up, two dribble pull up, left, off the glass. Like he got a whole nother man, bro. It hurt me to see him shut down, but at the next, but he gotta come back and he gotta give us something, bro. I'm talking about. I need to see Ben Simmons in. I need to see Ben Simmons. I need to see some summer workout. Hey, you got it? Okay, you ready? Okay, go, and then I'm done. I'm talking about some real like workouts, bro. Yeah. Like straight up. That's what this is. That's what the NBA is.
So you heard Kevin Garnett's comments. Now, here's why I take the words of Kevin Garnett seriously. Kevin Garnett was easily one of the most passionate basketball players to have played in the NBA in the last 30 years. He was extremely passionate about the sport. He was an extremely hard worker. He was an excellent, some people will even argue at a certain point, is KG the best player in the world? An excellent power forward, incredible basketball player, incredible defensive player who played with a lot of tenacity and a lot of heart and a lot of grit and an extremely hard work. And I remember, I believe it was Kevin Garnett that said, if you want to see a guy this serious, give him $1 million. I mean, give him $100 million and see if he'll still wake up at 4 a.m. and go run on the beach in the off season to get ready for the next season. KG used to do that. There's actual tape of him doing that. So for KG to say to Ben Simmons he needs to find his passion or rediscover his love for basketball, he's speaking from a genuine place. And maybe all of this is mental, and I don't want to discount the role mental health plays on a person's well-being. You know, if you see one person looking a particular way for a certain amount of time, and then all of a sudden maybe they just change in their appearance, understand that something went wrong there. Something is going on there, right? And Ben Simmons was on an upward trajectory, and to see this kind of fall from grace, it must be more than basketball. So when you have Kevin Garnett putting a message out there, I think he's trying to reach out to him. I don't think he was saying it to demean him or disgrace him or embarrass him. I think he meant it from a genuine place. So hopefully the words get to Ben Simmons. So these are my thoughts. The question simply is this: what do you guys think about what KG had to say to Ben Simmons, and do you think his message will get through?